Welcome to I Am Geek, the show for the geek in all of us, and this is episode 14, and it is a very special week because we have some special guests with us. Not only do we have Chris Catron, as usual, and my brother, Chris Street, who's wearing glasses tonight, trying to look cool. We also have one of a couple of my friends, Michael Davis, and his pal that goes by one name and one name only, Sante. He is a Mexican wrestler, straight from Mexico. Not really. He's not a wrestler.
That bicep. Yeah. Show it off.
So, hi guys. How you guys doing tonight?
Awesome. Honored to be on the podcast. The one and only I Am Geek.
So I know Michael Davis from long ago when he was. This is going to sound creepy. When he was in
a young Padawan.
Sixth grade?
Yeah.
And I was in my 20s, I guess.
Yep.
Ryan
actually gave me my first guitar lesson.
That is true.
Yeah.
That is true. And now he's gone on to stardom. And I have not. But that's okay.
Or something like that. Or at least to have music out. That's about it.
Yeah. Michael is sort of touring the country, doing all kinds of crazy stuff. He just recorded an album. He's on his way to Nashville. He's actually at Chris Catron's house. I gave him Catron's address, and he just went and knocked on the door.
He didn't even call and tell me anything.
He was kind enough to let us in.
Like,
so we got no place to stay. Could you pardon a room for us?
So we thought since he was there, we'd have him on, and you could talk about your stuff, what you're doing, and then we're just going to talk about our random stuff. We're going to get to... Yeah, that's all you get.
That's all you get. All right, guys, thanks for having me on.
You got 2 minutes. Go.
You got 2 minutes. We're also going to talk about Gremlins tonight. Hopefully everybody watched it, did their homework.
Yeah.
Send in lots of
questions. Of course. we knew about this for sure.
Yeah. Since you listened to the last one, you knew we were going to talk about this.
Yes.
They're avid listeners, so they should know.
Yeah. Now, Michael and Sante, they were at my house here in Texas. We tried to record a podcast when they were here. It was going to be a neat, different kind of podcast. We were playing our favorite game, an epic podcast. Yeah, we were playing our favorite game, Epic Duels, which you've heard me talk about before. They brought it. We filmed it. We recorded it on like 3 or 4 different devices to put it up on YouTube and to put it on the podcast, and all of them corrupted and went bad, and they're no longer there. So
can't believe it.
Yeah, so it was like a 2-hour game, and it was all lost. So it was fun, and then
it was.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite games. You can't buy it anymore. We looked it up, and they're going for like $1,000 or something.
Oh yeah, it's crazy.
Wow.
It's crazy. It was a short run, came out after episode 2, and people it became one of those like cult classic type games right away. So now, if you can ever find it, buy Epic Duels.
Yeah.
Well, maybe you can recount your game here. You can go over each move.
Play by play.
Throughout the whole thing for the next 2 hours.
Well, let's just say that I won, and
and that's all that matters.
That's all that matters. No, I did win, and Sante never played before, and he came in second, and Michael came in last.
Who owns the game?
Who owns the game? Yeah.
Who owns the game came in last.
Been playing it since I was in 7th grade, probably. But here's the thing. I will tell you the setup that was legit. It was Ryan was Anakin and Padme. I was Luke and Leia, and Santi was the Emperor, and we were playing in the Emperor's throne room. So it was a pretty intense setup. Who would win in a battle between Luke at his prime and Anakin at his prime? It's kind of what you had to think.
That's kind of sad, though. The Emperor's all by himself.
No, he has two. He has 2 royal guards with him.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, the Emperor. Yeah, he had 2 royal guards. That's right.
Because it seemed kind of. I mean, there's like Luke and Leia, brother and sister, and
they were great.
And then the lovers, that Padme and Anakin, and
as they're known as the lovers.
That's how I know them. The lovers, Anakin and Padme. That's their title. Whenever they pop up on the screen, it pops up. Lovers.
Padme died of a broken heart.
Yeah, in the game too.
Spoiler.
Yeah.
Spoiler.
Yeah.
Wow. Throw it right out there. Who invited this guy on here?
But we had a big discussion during the game about who would actually win in a real battle between Anakin and Luke. And there was a lot of back and forth. Did we ever come up with an actual answer who we decided?
Well, my take was Luke. I said that I feel like it's like power levels increase in Star Wars, throughout the generations, and so Luke was like the final, greatest Jedi. And then, what'd you say? You talked about Yoda, and you talked about Emperor fighting Yoda. And
I talked about Anakin. He basically destroys Dooku, and basically cuts his hands off, then decapitates him. Right? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Two sabers.
And that Dooku fought Yoda, and it was a draw.
Mm.
And then, so he basically annihilated the guy that had a draw with Yoda. And
yeah, so was Yoda that far beyond Luke then, is the question.
Oh, yes. I mean, Yoda, yeah. He was beyond Luke then.
I think Yoda just holds back, though. That's the only reason it was a draw.
And we went with the whole that Luke, he even in Jedi, he was like, he gives up his lightsaber, he turns himself in, chooses that way, and then Anakin's just like, I don't like you. I'm going to slaughter all the Sand people, and I'm going to slaughter all the children. So, he's got that anger going for him, and I think that would play into it, because he was not Darth Vader yet. The Darth Vader that's in Jedi, which had calmed down a little bit because he, found out.
Well, here's the question: was Darth Vader stronger than Anakin? Obviously the same person, but you get what I'm saying. Was he stronger as Vader, or was he stronger pre-mask?
I think he has different elements. By the time he gets to Jedi, he's letting his human self come back, I think. But there's a time between which we can say Rogue One, I guess now, or between Episode 3 and the beginning of Jedi, where he's on this crazy journey and he gets really powerful and lets his anger completely take over. And but I think by the end of Jedi, he's sort of coming back to who he was before he let the dark side take over. So I don't know that. Yeah. So it's a hard call.
It is. But in our game, Anakin won. So,
Anakin won, yeah. He defeated everybody.
Sadly.
The game has different decks for different characters, so Anakin and Padme just have a really strong deck, and they can do a lot of stuff to basically just slaughter minor characters and heal each other and stuff like that. So,
well, they are the lovers.
They are the lovers. So we had a great time playing. We played it again the next night. We played a shorter version, and we did the Jango, Boba Fett, and Dooku, wasn't it?
Yeah. You were Boba Fett, and Greedo. Greedo's his minor character, which is awesome. He has a card that if you play it, if you shoot, if it doesn't kill the opposing character, Greedo dies.
Yeah.
So it's awesome.
But Dooku won that one. Sante won.
Sante's second time playing.
My take that was going to win was SpongeBob, because I never seen Star Wars.
Yeah. It was great. Sante's playing these games. We're having all this in-depth discussion about Star Wars and who's going to win, and all he's seen was Rogue One.
Yeah.
So
he didn't
glad
know
he's on the podcast.
He didn't know who anybody was. So that was our game. That was sort of the quick take of the 2-hour long game that we had. Before we go on, Michael, why don't you tell us about your CD that just came out? Yeah,
so I had been working on this album for the last 3 years or so, songwriting, and I actually have a recording studio in Gainesville, Florida, where I am. And so I, on the side of my regular work, was producing that on the side, and it just came out in April. It is called Leading Me to Life, if you'd like to check it out. And if you end up seeing the video of this on YouTube, bam, there it is. You can find it on iTunes. That's what the album cover looks like there. But
so handsome.
Oh, wow, thanks. Way better on the Photoshop version than the actual.
Yeah. I mean, Photoshop does wonders. It's great.
It's great. It's great. But it's fun. It's it's like a pop rock sound, and
like
obviously
the Candy?
Yes, pop rock. So basically, I just downed a packet of them, every song. It went up to the mic and it's like
A lot of crackling. Wow.
drums and guitar player, stuff on there. So
I would listen to that. A lot of crackling.
this is a great idea.
Tonight. It'd be good. I think that's your next album.
Yeah.
Pop rocks.
And then
like
each track will be called like a name of a flavor of the pop rock. So you have like
Watermelon.
strawberry, grape, watermelon,
Sour apple.
Yeah. Oh, this is a hits in the making right here.
All right, send in your feedback on what style sour apple should be, what watermelon should be. We can go hip hop for one, maybe reggae for like orange or something, and
I think grunge. I think grunge is the sour apple.
grunge. All right, grunge. Okay.
Yeah, I think that'd be sour apple. I think.
I think I
course.
should.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, so check it out if you'd like to check out the songs. It's like I said, that's the style. But even on one of the tracks, there's a rap artist is featured on there, and I just like to explore and go around different sounds. So Ryan and I used to play music all the time together and write music together, and it's been a fun journey up to this point now.
Yep. Our album that we made is not on anything.
You need to put it up. We just add it pretty quick. Throw it up there.
Okay, just throw it up there. You probably have it. Just throw it up. Give me all the proceeds. Donate them to I Am Geek.
All right, here we go. All the royalties of our old project will go up for I Am Geek. So send the support.
Get some lights. Good.
Well, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for
you
having
can stay on, but I'm just thanks for being on.
Go away now.
That was my promo.
See y'all later.
Go away. Bye. See ya.
It's been a weird week.
I had to pay $10,000 for that promo, guys. So please like my stuff, please.
It's money well spent.
Chris,
What
Katrin
a
lost
fun
her life.
episode. Katrin's running to his house right now. I think he
trying to
just
fix
ran
the-
into something.
The light, it was a little bright still on that one, so
Oh, it's okay.
now I'm dark.
Now it's okay. You're fine. Anyways, so it's been a crazy week, fun week, lot going on. I got new glasses this week.
Yeah,
Oh,
but
yes.
you're not wearing them.
I'm not
You're
wearing them because I'm sending them back.
Because you should. You should send them back.
I should, yeah. Well, see, there's this website. I'm going to give them a plug because it's a cool website called coastal.com for all your glasses and contact lenses needs. Not a sponsor, but you could be, Coastal. You could be a sponsor.
Yeah, why not?
Give us all
Yeah.
free glasses.
Start pretend sponsor for the week.
Yeah, pretend sponsor of the week, coastal.com for all your glasses and contact needs. But the cool thing is you can order glasses, and if you don't like them, you can just send them back, and you can trade them out until you find the ones that you like. And that's what I'm going to do because I let my lovely wife pick out the glasses, and she thought they were cool. And I don't know if she thought I was going to look like a hipster, but I ended up, I think, looking like an old lady, probably.
Yes, you did. An old lady with a beard.
Yeah,
Yes.
they're like way bigger than they're mine. And when I put them on, I'm like, I don't like these. And they're like, oh no, it's good. And so I was like, okay, I'll put it on Facebook because most of the time, social media people are very honest with you because they're on social media and that's what they do. So I put it on Facebook, and all of it was just like, love. Wow, I like you a lot. And then I'm like, no. So I was with one of my friends on Sunday, and I'm like, and there was another lady there at church with us, and I said, hey, I'm gonna put these glasses on. Tell me what you think. So I put them on, and he just sort of stood there for a second, and then the lady goes, no. She goes, they make you look like an old man. And I'm like, oh, thanks, I guess. She goes, I like the other ones better. They're trendy. So they were
At least somebody was honest
they were
then.
honest. But I was honest.
They had these-
Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, they had these little gems.
There were gems.
They
just
look
metal.
like gems.
Yeah.
You take the picture, and they look like gems, and that really brought it down for me.
I
It's
think
just
one
like,
side had a semicolon, and the other side had a colon, I think. I don't know. It was weird.
Okay.
It
Yeah,
was
that's
weird.
Artistic elements.
But I talked to my now good friend Austin from Coastal on the phone forever today, getting that sorted out, and he helped me pick out a new pair of glasses.
Did you tell him about the podcast though?
I should have.
Yeah, and then we could have said a shout out to him. He might be listening. Hey, Austin.
Hey, Austin.
Hey,
I'm sure you're not
welcome,
listening.
Yeah.
But he helped me pick out a pair that was similar to the ones I have now, but they're a little bigger too, like wider in the glasses, because I couldn't find ones that were this size. If you're listening, you can't see anything. If you're watching, if you're watching on YouTube, we're on YouTube now. Just search I Am Geek Show, and hopefully it'll pop up. If not, we'll get some links. But the glasses are a little bigger than these, so hopefully they'll be fine. But if they're not, he said that I can send those back, and they'll just keep sending me new pair until we find ones that fit.
Or you never find them, so you keep getting new glasses, and you just
I think
always get something new.
You just keep talking to Austin.
Yeah,
I think is what you're trying to do. You're just trying to
like, hey,
talk
Austin,
to
buddy.
Austin and become a friend
Buddy,
with Austin.
Austin, I need to be your friend.
It's gonna start getting creepy.
Yeah. Anyway, so that was my big adventure for the week. New glasses.
Fancy.
I just realized I don't think I clarified that Santi is not a Mexican wrestler anymore.
Anymore.
Well, thank goodness.
In my description of what I'm doing, all I did was tell you the album. Santi plays drums with me all the time as well, so when we travel around. So, and he recorded on the album some too, and so we're here hanging.
Santi, you should wear like a luchador mask when you play drums. That would be pretty cool.
Dude,
that would be great.
that would be something unique, you know?
I should be able to use some of those. What are they called? Star things that light up.
Lightsabers?
Lightsabers.
Wow. We got to screen people.
They do? Yeah.
You realize this show is called I Am Geek, right?
Yeah.
We're losing our cred.
They do make light up drumsticks though. That are yeah, they're completely LED and they light up, and when you hit them, they'll like change colors and stuff. See, I know stuff.
No, I think it's young Padawans and old alike. So
yeah. Oh, we'll see. Now I'm complete. What was I going to say? Oh, speaking of wrestling, I watched a little bit of Glow on Netflix, the new Gorgeous Ladies of Wrestling show. It was okay. It was definitely not made for families.
Not a family show.
Not a family show.
I'm surprised by that.
But oddly enough, the original Glow, the wrestling on I guess on ESPN or whatever channel it was back then, was I guess family.
The Ocho.
It was aimed at family,
but still maybe not.
I think it did start out that way, but they're like, hey, if you want to be on TV, you got to be family friendly. It was weird. It was like a mix of course, it was an all ladies wrestling show, but they rapped. They did like rap numbers, and they did like skits in between, and so very interesting. The one that's on Netflix is based on it. It wasn't exactly how it happened, but it was okay. It was a watch, I guess.
It was a watch. It took some time out of my day.
Yeah, I mean it wasn't bad, but it was okay. Yeah.
It's like, what level of boredom do you have to be for that? You know, there's like certain shows that it's like, I'm only going to watch it.
Well, I mean, once I got into it, I wanted to see what happened. I was like, okay, I want to see what happens. And it did make me watch, there's a documentary on the Gorgeous Ladies of Wrestling that does interviews with all the original ladies. And so I watched part of that. It made me want to watch part of that. So that was sort of interesting to see how that actually happened and came together. But it was the 80s, and the 80s was a weird time. So, yeah, so it was cool. I mean, it wasn't like the level of Stranger Things on Netflix. Like, I wouldn't put it up there or any of the Marvel shows on Netflix, but, you know, it's okay. If you like wrestling, especially old school wrestling, and you want to know how the stuff like in the 80s happened, yeah, give it a watch. But
They at least need to go watch the YouTube video of the opening of the original show where they're all rapping through their names.
Oh, yeah. Michael,
it's
could you write us
hilarious.
a rap, just a I Am Geek rap?
All right, I'll get right on that.
80s rap. Michael did say Michael did say that he will do some music for us for the show.
Oh,
doing an intro. Yeah, doing an intro. So it's on here now. All of our multitude of listeners.
There's no going back.
No going back.
That was it to get the album promo 10K plus a studio intro for the show. And here it is. So there we go. Totally worth it.
There we go. Yeah. So So hopefully we'll have hopefully we'll have an original Michael Davis coming to I Am Geek for our intro, outro, and all that fun stuff. Speaking of our listeners, I looked this week and we had like 11 listens in Japan. We're big in Japan now, guys.
Ooh, come on. It's like Elvis, right?
Yeah, big in Tokyo. So if you're listening out there in Japan, thank you for listening. We appreciate you guys taking the time to listen. Tell all your friends and family about I Am Geek, and let us know in the comments and wherever you find us on social media that you're listening and where you're from and all that fun stuff. But thanks for listening, Japan. We're glad you're here.
Yes, absolutely. In Japan, this is not a joke. I will very likely be over there within the next year or so doing some spots over there playing music. I was there 2 years ago with a friend, so hoping to come back. So be on the lookout for that as well.
So live in Tokyo this time next year, Michael Davis will be singing the intro to I Am Geek.
The show back in the
heard it here first.
You heard it here first. Oh man! So last week we talked about starting something new because we were talking about movies that. A lot of people can't get to the newest movies that are out. So we're going to do a retro movie segment. We're just going to pick a movie and we're going to talk about it. Last week we decided that movie was going to be the 80s hit Christmas-themed movie for Christmas in July, The Gremlins. And I watched it. Chris watched it.
I did.
Katrin, did you get to watch it?
I didn't. I watched it about a month ago, though, so I'm pretty fresh on it. And I feel bad because it was my idea to do that movie.
Hey, you watched part of it. It was on when we got here. So
that's right. I had it on. I decided to turn it off so we would have enough bandwidth. But we got.
Oh, you have to put this in.
Yeah, studying for a test you haven't studied for. You just
so I tried to get.
I gotta get it in.
Got the Cliff Notes.
Yeah, I tried to get the clip notes, going around looking for quotes and all the inventions and like plot holes. I was like, I gotta find something. So we'll see how it goes.
Well, it's not weird that we're doing this in the summer though, because even though it takes place in the Christmas time, it was actually released in the summer.
Yeah.
Ooh.
They were going to do a Christmas release, but then realized they didn't have a lot of competition for the summer slot, so they actually pushed it ahead. So. Interesting.
Good little trivia, folks.
Hey. So if you don't,
pursuit.
Yeah, there we go. If you don't know what Gremlins is, Gremlins is a movie about a guy that goes to Chinatown. He's an inventor looking to pawn off or sell his inventions, and he comes across this little store that has all these weird things in it, and he finds this animal in this box, and he wants to buy it, and the animal is called a mogwai. And it's a little cute little furry creature, and he wants to give it to his son as a pet. And when you first see the movie, you think, oh, he wants to give this to his son as a pet. I bet his son's like a cute little 12-year-old or something. He wants to give him this cute little pet, and so he brings the pet home, and the son, I don't know, the son looks like he's in his 20s.
He is. Because it's been a while since I watched it, and I remember he's a kid, and I'm thinking he's got to be younger, even though he looks older, because Judge Reinhold's in it, very briefly, and he's 23. I think he says he's 23 in it, and they're in a bar. So at that point, you're like, he's got to be older, and he's hitting on the female lead. And I'm like, okay, she can't be in her teens. They can't be playing like that because this is going to be getting weird. So they're in their 20s.
Yeah, so you think he's giving it to a cute little kid, but he gives it to his 20-year-old son, which seems like his best friend is Corey Feldman in the movie. And Corey Feldman in the movie is 13 or something. Which is funny because they cast Corey Feldman first before they knew what age the son was going to be. So originally the son was going to be Corey Feldman's age, and then they cast this other guy, and they sort of change things around. So he hangs out with the kid in his attic bedroom, which is
not creepy at all.
Not creepy at all. So when he gets the creature, there's 3 rules for the Mogwai. You keep it out of light, you don't get it wet, and you never feed it after midnight. So wonder what's going to happen.
Absolutely nothing. The movie ends happily. Everything's good. The end.
There's a lot of foreshadowing in this movie. I mean, that right there is a big one. You pretty much know what happened. As soon as they walk into the house has these swords on the wall. And one of the swords falls, and it keeps falling. And you're like, I bet something's going to happen with that sword. And later on, it does. The father's an inventor, and he's got all kinds of weird adventures or inventions. He's got the bathroom buddy, which is the one he's trying to sell, which is a block of plastic with
not convenient at all.
Yeah.
I mean, that's like the worst thing. It's like, how in the world is that more useful than just having each individual piece? You know,
really not sure how this family is surviving at all.
I know.
On any, he's not bringing any money in. There's no way he's bringing any money in.
Right. Right. He must have some
enough
other job.
to buy a Mogwai at least.
Yeah.
He pays, what was it, $50 or $100?
I think $100 a thing.
Yeah, $100. He's just throwing away $100 on this thing, and like he's got no money.
The trip itself had to cost a lot of money to go over there. You know, it's like
that's true.
Got this nice house. Maybe the mom makes all the money. She's the breadwinner.
I don't know,
but not back then though, right?
Yeah, we didn't see her doing any job.
That's true. She was at home.
She was at home
trying to make it all stay together.
So really, all the adults in this movie are just horrible at being adults.
Yeah, pretty much.
Not really good at adulting.
Yeah.
They're either drunk or ruining families.
And they already have a family pet, a dog. So I don't know why they needed another family pet, but I guess they did.
Like anything he's ever seen.
Yeah, but the dog gets into trouble at the beginning of the movie, and there's this like the evilest old lady I believe I've ever seen in a movie.
It's like they're watching Wizard of Oz.
Yeah.
And they're like, okay, let's take this and turn it up to 11.
Yeah.
And
the old lady comes into the bank.
Zany.
Yeah, comes in the bank with a decapitated snowman's head, drops it in front of the. I don't even know what the guy's name is. What's the guy's name? I don't know. The main character drops it in front of him and says, "Your dog, where's your dog? He destroyed my snowman." And then she's like, "Give me the dog. I want to have my way with him."
Billy.
Kill him.
Billy, that's right. Yeah. And the lady's name is Mrs. Deagle.
Yeah, and before she even walks in, like you see her like walking in the street with the giant snowman, and there's the music that they're playing behind her is it's like out of the 1920s. Like, we're gonna make sure people know that this is like gonna be the evil woman. It's like
yeah.
It's, like, it took me straight out of it. It's like, is this the same movie again?
Well, you could probably guess, but they end up. Corey Feldman spills water on Gizmo the Mogwai, and then he starts like convulsing, and little things start popping out of him, and he's like, it looks like he's writhing in pain. They ignore Gizmo and put their attention on the fur balls that start growing into more Mogwai. And all the other Mogwais are like evil, but Gizmo, which I don't know why.
Well, so originally I was reading on this because I like to read like about movies sometimes. I like to go on IMDb and stuff, and they got a lot of trivia. So originally Gizmo was supposed to be Stripe. Like, that's what it was going to be. But Spielberg was like, no, we need to make Gizmo the hero. Like, we need someone to really root for through this. And the person who actually made the animatronic for Gizmo, like, only made him to do certain small things at the beginning of the movie. And so, like, it had already been made and done, and then Spielberg changed his mind and wanted Gizmo to be throughout the whole movie, and it totally, like, peeved off the guy who built the thing. Is like, I didn't make it to do all this stuff.
So did they make a new one, or did he modify it?
They just kept using that one and did their best with it. And
wow.
So that's why you don't get a lot of facial stuff necessarily throughout the thing. Because he was
three
only
expressions.
Yeah, made to do
different angles.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But so all the other ones are bad. Then they trick the dude in to give them food.
Well, yeah, they cut the wire on the clock. It's like they know how to.
Yeah.
The whole thing works.
They didn't
been
just
alive
unplug
for,
it;
like,
they
5
cut the
minutes.
wire.
Yeah, they've been alive for like 5 minutes and know what to do.
Oh.
Yeah.
They are gremlins. I mean, technically, gremlins in history, they technically know things for some reason. That it's like they were on planes in World War II, taking apart airplanes.
What?
Yeah.
Well, that's the original Gremlins. They were during World War II. Like when things went wrong with like equipment and stuff, they were like a superstition that gremlins were in their machinery, causing things to. There's like a Bugs Bunny cartoon. I think they have it briefly in the movie that you see that was based off of that. That has a little gremlin taking apart an airplane.
That's why they named them Gremlins, because one of the other characters in the movie that comes in is sort of like a drunk guy, and he says that the gremlins are real, and so they decide that these are what the gremlins actually are, even though they're called Mogwai, and nobody even
Well, and the term in Chinese actually means demon or gremlin, so it works.
I'm not up on my Chinese.
You're not up on your Chinese.
What's the pronunciation for that in Chinese?
Mogwai.
Mogwai.
There you go.
That's good. Correct.
So it goes on, and then they turn into the gremlins, big green scary things. Then all the inventions that are in the house are used to destroy the gremlins. So the inventions are good for something. They're good at killing gremlins, so that's good. Maybe that's what he was planning all along. I don't know. Probably not.
It could be.
But then they go and they jump into they escape into the city, start wreaking havoc, killing people and stuff. The old wicked witch of the East lady from the bank gets shot out of her window by one of the gremlins, so that's pretty funny. And then they jump into a pool to multiply again.
Yes.
So
the whole town fills with them.
Yeah. So here's my thing. Here's my little pet peeve. We'll just get into pet peeves of the movie. Plot holes, I guess. Water makes them multiply.
Yes.
They spill one drop of water on one of them, and it multiplies into another one, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then they dive into the snow, cover themselves in snow, and never multiply with... That's
not water, that's snow.
It's frozen water, come on.
But it's frozen. It's got to be a certain like temperature degree. Nice lukewarm.
I don't know.
For water to change them, of course. Juice didn't work.
You would think when snow gets on a warm body, though, it would melt fairly quickly. And if it was only one
cold-blooded.
drop.
Cold-blooded, they're reptilian.
Was that on IMDb either?
Yeah, it's on IMDb. They're cold-blooded lizard creatures. Yeah.
We should call Spielberg and ask him.
Well, we need Chris Columbus should know. He was the writer.
Oh, let's call him. Spielberg's in the movie. Spielberg makes an appearance in the movie. He drives by on a golf cart, I believe, at some point.
Yeah.
There's a lot of Easter eggs. This movie should have just been called Easter Eggs, the movie, because it's like full of them. You have a hidden Mickey in one part of it.
Yeah. One of them's wearing a Mickey hat.
Yeah, you have the robot from Lost in Space.
Yeah, Robbie the robot. Yeah, he's in there.
You have the time machine from The Time Machine.
The Time Machine. Which actually time travels.
Yeah, it actually disappears.
It actually disappears in one scene. The dad's on a phone in like a phone booth, an actual phone booth. Ooh.
Inside a building.
Kids won't know what that is.
Yeah.
There used to be these rooms that you could walk into and make phone calls for like 25 cents.
Like so that people wouldn't hear you texting? Is that what you mean?
No, that texting wasn't around, dear boy. It was phone calls, and you'd have to turn the knob to get. I'm sorry, I'm going.
That's why the Superman is no more, because he ran out of places to change.
He ran out of phone booths. He can't. He's got no place.
That makes total sense now.
Lost Chris there a little bit. Patron.
Oh, where's the audio?
Oh, we lost Chris's audio.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, there we go.
There we go.
There it is.
That's my fault.
No, it's okay. So, and then I think I could. Go ahead. Sorry, go ahead.
It was funny.
Oh.
I was just saying how phone booths have windows, and it's like, why was that never?
Right? Yeah, if he's changing in there with
Superman,
because he's so fast.
Just,
He
then
always
why did he go in a phone booth then if he's so fast? And can't?
we always picked the side where the sun was reflecting, so it just the sun rays just bounced off and just blocked.
He's modest. I don't know.
Yeah, he's modest.
Also, I think I could be completely wrong, but I think behind, because he's talking on the phone, and behind him there's a guy that says something, and I think it's one of the doctors from Doctor Who. I could be wrong.
Whoa.
I don't know. Everyone in the '80s looked like a doctor from Doctor Who, so you're not quite sure.
I could be wrong. There's also a billboard for the radio host of the city or town that they live in that's a nod to Indiana Jones, because they were making Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom at the same time, I believe.
Yes. Well, they both came out the same summer. Yeah. And also on the theater that's at the climax of the movie, the movies listed on there are A Boy's Life and Watch the Skies, which were working titles for E.T. and Close Encounters of the Third Kind.
Oh,
which are both Spielberg movies.
More Easter eggs.
Yeah. Crazy. And that same theater was the theater from, well, actually the town, a lot of the set was the same set used in Back to the Future. The theater is a theater
Valley?
Hill Valley that Marty drives the DeLorean into at the end. He drives it into a theater, and that's that one.
Huh.
So there's a ton of fun stuff in
About that.
Another great movie.
Yes. But we got to talk about the Santa story.
Oh gosh, it's the most random story. So there's the love interest in the movie. I don't remember her name either. Shows how good I am. Doesn't like Christmas. Hates Christmas.
Hate.
Hates it.
Why?
And anytime it's brought up, she's like, "Don't talk about Christmas."
Doesn't celebrate it.
No, doesn't celebrate it. And so they're like, "What are you? You just don't believe in it?" And she's like, "Don't talk about it." And then she finally breaks down for some reason and tells the story of why she hates Christmas. And so the story goes, I'll give you a little bit of it. The story goes that her father went out on a trip around Christmas and was gone and just sort of disappeared, and nobody knew where he was. They couldn't call him, they couldn't get a hold of him, and so they're very worried. And then somehow was there a smell? I don't remember.
She went to light the fire.
She went to light the fire. Yes.
It got cold. It started getting cold.
She
one day, and she went to light the fire in the chimney.
Yeah. And it was
'cause
stopped
they didn't have
up.
direct heat.
Yeah, it was stopped up, so they called the chimney sweep to come. The chimney sweep comes, and they find Santa stuck in the chimney.
What?
And it's her father dressed as Santa Claus, wanting to surprise them by going down the chimney to wish them a Merry Christmas, and he dies in the chimney.
Yeah, he got stuck in the chimney and died. And that was the story. It's so random and so fun. You can't help but laugh at it when she's telling the story, and you're like, is this supposed to be funny? Or, like, am I supposed to feel for her? Because I'm just laughing at her.
Yeah, it's just, like, so random. It's, like, no place. It's just like, hey, we got some extra minutes we need to fill. How about you tell this depressing story about your dad dressing as Santa Claus and dying in the chimney? It'll fit really well into the storyline.
Now, does she tell it like very somberly, and the music gets all dramatic, and the strings in, and she starts crying towards the end of it, and
it's very upsetting to her. It's I don't know how the kid's not cracking up at her. But it's just like, I'm sorry if your dad's dead, but it's a hilarious death.
Yeah, so they do that, and then they just go right back into killing gremlins, I think.
Wow.
They like blow up the movie theater that all the gremlins are hiding in.
Mm-hmm.
One gets away.
Stripe.
Yeah.
Stripe.
And but how did he die?
So they go into another department store. Like, they chase him in a department store, and they're like she's trying to turn on the lights to kind of blind him a bit because they're sensitive to light, and accidentally turns on a water fountain that's in, I guess, the garden section.
Yeah.
And so he discovers that, and at first he attacks Billy with a chainsaw.
Yeah.
And Billy has a wooden bat, and for some reason it takes about like 10 to 15 minutes for him to saw through a wooden bat with a chainsaw. Yeah. And then finds a gun in a case. This store has everything.
And Gizmo's riding around in a Barbie.
Yeah, a Barbie.
Yeah.
Corvette.
It's like it doesn't really drive. It's remote controlled or something, right? But it
actually
works.
drives.
I guess so. Nobody can fit in it but a gremlin, but whatever.
So he gets to the fountain, and Billy's been like shot once at least, I think, in like the shoulder or something.
Probably.
And he's down. He's going to die. And then Gizmo comes riding into the rescue in the little car and opens, because they've been going through all night, and now it's day. So Gizmo opens up the shades, and all the light comes in.
That's right. And he melts.
Yeah.
And then he like jumps out of the fountain, all melted.
Yeah, skeleton form, and then just turns into a pile of goo. Which, okay, so one of the reasons I don't eat guacamole is because it looks like exploded gremlin.
Wow.
It looks exactly like exploded gremlin.
True.
Just look at it. Next time you look, true story. Next time you look at it. I mean, because she puts one in a microwave at one point, like the mom does, and it explodes, and then one melts.
Stirring thing. It's like
stirring,
flying all over the place.
It's guacamole. I'm pretty sure it's guacamole.
Yeah.
Avocados are the things that pop out of gremlins, and then you squish them up in a guacamole.
Sounds about right.
There you go.
Yeah. So they did make a Gremlins 2. I haven't watched that one, but I think the love interest, the one with the sad Santa story, isn't she like the main character for the second one?
No, the main character is Billy again. He's got a job and like a.
But she's in it too, right?
She's. I don't know if it's the same actress. I gotta look that up. But he's okay. Yeah, it's both of them. They're both. Oh wait, no, that's still Gremlins. Sorry, I'm looking it up. Gremlins 2, the new batch, which was what they called it. Yes, she is in it. And John Glover, who was Lex Luthor's dad on Smallville, is the villain. Plays a scientist. So yeah, they both work in this building, and they discover the Gremlins, and John Glover's like experimenting on them, and is able to mess with their DNA, I think, and then a bunch of different versions of Gremlins start popping out with different powers. Like one was an electricity. It was just made of electricity and shot around the building. There was one that he turned into a woman.
Yeah, there's a female gremlin,
with big perky lips that wanted to kiss everyone.
Yep.
A lot of different things. Yeah, a lot of weirdness in that one. I remember liking that one a lot as a kid. I'm sure if I watched it now, I probably would not.
Yeah, I liked it a lot as a kid too. We'll have to watch it sometime. But so that's Gremlins. Anything else about Gremlins? Would you okay, how about this? Do you think Gremlins holds up today?
When I watch movies, I kind of base it on just was I entertained, and I was entertained. So I think it holds up. I mean, some of the stuff that they probably meant to be more kind of horror or stuff plays more comedic now, but it's still a dark comedy anyway. There's a lot of deaths. It's one of the first movies that initialized the PG-13 system rating, because they didn't have PG-13 at the time. It was just PG because there's a lot of deaths.
So Gremlin was R, right? At the time?
No,
Gremlin was
PG.
Yeah, they got it to PG. It was.
What?
Yeah, that movie and Temple of Doom both came out the same summer, and they both have like some like kind of horrific stuff to them, and they didn't have PG-13 at the time. It was either PG or R. So a lot of movies kind of edge into R, and studios didn't like that. So Spielberg like set in effect this PG-13 rating.
That's why when you watch like Goonies or I think movies like that you're like, oh, PG, and you put them on and you're like, what?
Yeah.
That's some language in them.
But yeah, I think it holds up. I like it. I think it's fun.
Katrin.
Yeah, I think it's good. I think if they tried to remake it, though, it would probably be something really super scary and evil and all this. It wouldn't be as fun. If they were to make it, not so much remake it, but if they were trying to make it today, it wouldn't be as good.
Yeah.
And that's true with a lot of the '80s movies, and they're just fun.
Yeah.
And and imaginative. It seemed like, and it's Back to the Future, like we talked about earlier, and Gremlins, and all of them. It's just different now. But
there's something to the old school animatronic feel and things that don't have to be CGI crazy jumping around, like as realistic as possible, but just have some of that movie magic to it.
Yeah, that stuff's always nice. It's always nice when they at least kind of split it up, do different versions. That's why I think Jurassic Park holds up, because the first one, because it seems more realistic than the other ones even sometimes, because they split it up between animatronic and CG.
Sure.
As you're wearing your Jurassic Park shirt today.
Yes.
Oh,
Look at there.
Look at that.
I agree with you. I think it holds up. Fun movie, great movie. It's one of those you just take out every once in a while and watch just for a good laugh. And
there's a video game called Lego Dimensions, and they have a Gremlins pack.
Yep.
Ghostbusters, and of course, another good '80s movie. But yeah, so it's still around.
Yeah,
it holds up. So next time we do a retro movie recap, we picked one of Katrin's favorite movies. So hopefully he'll watch it. We picked it so he will watch it, but he can probably quote you every line in the movie. It's also on Netflix.
Probably doesn't need to watch it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're gonna watch. Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
There you go.
Oh man.
Yeah, I definitely could. I could quote you the whole movie, and it's pretty annoying to watch the movie with me.
Look forward to being annoyed.
Now, could you for next time? Could you wear a red bow tie for the next episode?
I probably could. My wife makes bow ties, or used to, so I could ever make one, and
Done deal.
So I'm expecting when I watch this next podcast to not hear a recap, but to hear Katrin just reenact it and watch it reenact it.
It's gonna be all the characters. Just all of it. I like this.
Do it. Let's do
a little teaser, Katrin. What's your favorite line of the movie?
Oh gosh, we talked about this before. Well, one of my favorite lines. I don't know if I have a favorite line, but we talked about one of the funniest ones where they're in the dinosaur and they're talking and they're talking about their dreams and she's like, what do you dream, Simone? You can do this, Simone. And she's like, but it says, but everyone I know has a big butt. It's just funny, but I don't know if I have a favorite line. I'd have to think about that one.
All right,
it's just
next time.
The whole movie's
next
great.
Week we'll find out favorite line.
I'll have to watch it.
Suspense.
Suspense. What is Katrin's favorite line? Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
All right, if you ever do a movie throwback to Monty Python and the Holy Grail, I will come back on for that.
There we go. It's an African swallow. Anyways, so Spider-Man comes out this week. Spiderman Homecoming. It's that time.
Yeah.
Summer movies are dropping.
I'm excited for that.
They, in quotation marks, leaked the first few minutes of the movie. Not really a leak, but
no, it's not a leak.
But I watched it. It was pretty cool. So I'm looking forward to it. Also, we found out the other week that he was in Iron Man 2.
Yes.
Peter Parker, supposedly.
Yes, he was. He was the little kid at the Stark Expo with the Iron Man mask.
That's who the kid was, really?
Yeah. I've been wondering for years who
I'm like, that kid's going to come back somewhere. Yeah.
Yeah, there's going to be a giant reveal with this kid, and that finally got the payoff. And
wow.
Yeah, they totally made it up and took it off of a Reddit thing or something online. And they're like, yeah, we came up with this.
Yeah. But that's what inspired Peter Parker to be a hero. It was Iron Man 2.
And a spider that bites him.
Yeah, that too.
That makes him into a superhero.
So do you guys think it's going to be good? How do you think it's going to line up with the other Spider-Man movies?
I think it'll be good. I'm not sure. Like, it'll be interesting because I have some nostalgia about the first one with Tobey Maguire, and then the one with Doc Ock is really good. I like that one. The newer ones with Andrew Garfield, I like Andrew Garfield and the character, but the movies were kind of they're pretty good, but I think it'll definitely be better than those. But yeah, I'll be interested to see how it stacks up to the others.
Yeah, I'm weird. I liked Andrew Garfield with Emma Stone. I thought that was
that was a good pairing.
Good pairing.
The actors in that were good, but the storyline was a little off. Yeah.
Well, I heard we don't have to sit through another Uncle Ben is dead again, or
thank
death.
goodness.
So we don't
Really?
Well, he's dead, but they're not going to
He's just out.
go through the whole story about how he dies. Blah blah blah.
It opens up on a grocery aisle with a spilled box of rice from Uncle Ben. That's how it starts.
I did hear a rumor, which is probably completely false, but I heard a rumor that they're changing his death a little bit, where that it takes place when the aliens attack in Avengers.
Really?
What?
That's just a rumor that I heard.
Huh. We'll find out.
I heard that they may mention that, but that could be just a rumor.
I don't know. I like that.
Well, I think it'll be the best Spider-Man reboot this year.
Yes, definitely so.
I do like
the other 8. Yeah.
I feel like his comedy element is the truest to the comic books so far, at least from what you saw in the last Avengers when he came in. It's more it seems like a little more. Spider-Man always had that, quick kind of wit. Yeah.
Yeah, he had a nice wit to him, very sarcastic, really kind of played up that with the villains, trying to get them off their game and stuff. Tobey Maguire was not very good at that.
Boring Maguire.
Tobey
Maguire.
Boring Maguire. The guy that was taken out of Life of Pi.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he was in Life of Pi. He was the original interviewer in the movie, like the guy that interviews the Pi in the story to tell the story, and he was the original guy. He had a horrible wig on, it's like someone like lopped off a mop and dyed it orange or something, or redheaded or brown. I don't know. It was weird, and stuck on his head. And it just took you straight out of the movie. It was so weird. So they just cut all that and refilmed it with another guy.
Chris would know. Chris would know because he animated the
I worked
tiger.
on the movie, and so I saw that. And when we saw it, what's going on with this? This is so weird. Yeah, it was funny though.
How long did it take you to animate the tiger in Life of Pi?
Long time.
More than 5 minutes?
More than 5. It was at least 8 minutes. It took at least.
But he drew it out for months. It was
lots of drawings.
He just stretched it out. I was like, I'm still working on this.
Yeah, I need some OT pay. I gotta get here. No, it took months. It took months to
That's awesome.
Get all that going. But yeah.
What? So a little behind the scenes of what you do. What all do they send you to work with?
So it depends on what kind of movie I'm working on. For a movie like Life of Pi, so they I'll just go over one scene. It's a scene where the tiger is in the boat, and he's emaciated, kind of dying, and he's in the guy's lap. So on set they film it. There's a giant almost stuffy, a stuffed animal type thing that's just blue, that they've shaped into a tiger shape. And so that's what and there's pics online. You can find pictures online of this. So it looks really silly. But the actor is pulling that in his lap and acting with that. And they even drew a little eye on it. It looks pretty silly. So from that they take it and there are people that track stuff. Track movements and motion in the scene, and they'll take a 3D model of a person, and they'll put it over top of the actor, because they'll have all these cameras set up to get the 3D environment going, so they can track the guy in his position and kind of what he's doing. They don't really go into intricacies necessarily with the fingers and stuff like that, just kind of his general placement. So I have something to work with in the 3D shot. And they give me a dumbed down version of the 3D model of the tiger. It doesn't have all its like fur or anything like that. It's so because if it had all that on it, it'd take forever to animate. It'd just be too slow. It'd be too much polygons and stuff. Too crazy. So it's basically like a naked tiger looking thing that you might have some textures depending on everything. And so I animate that on top of kind of what the stuff he's doing to kind of match what his hand's doing. But then I start to add stuff. So I'll watch a lot of reference of. I actually watched reference of a tiger that was dying, and it's the saddest thing that you'll ever see.
Oh gosh,
it's so sad. I know. I enjoyed it. It was great.
That sounds worse than the dad dying in the chimney. Santa Claus dad.
That's a hilarious story. Okay, the tiger's dying.
Oh gosh.
No, so I just to watch movements for intricacies and stuff, because and then I kind of incorporate that into the acting of the tiger's face and stuff like that, and get that, do a lot of back and forth with like, so the director's got to look at it, producers got to look at it, everybody's like it goes all like up the pipe. Like I have a supervisor, then there's an animation director, and then there's like producers for the film, like at Fox. So it's just like multiple people looking at all this stuff. And it just goes back and forth. I'll do a blocking pass, which is what we call it, the first pass, where it's almost in what we call step keys. It looks like almost like if you watch the Lego movie, how it kind of pops from like frame to frame. It's not very smooth. Like that, where it's popping. But with something like that, you can't necessarily do it because you have a live actor moving, so it doesn't look right. So it may be smoother animation to begin with. And they buy off on that, and then they go into spline, which is smoothing it out, and then they buy off on that, and then final, which I start to add in like little ticks or something in the face, and start just smoothing that out, checking the arcs, things like that, and then it gets sent off to like lighting and fur and all that. They put it all on, and comp, which puts everything together. So yeah, a little brief summary.
All within 8 minutes.
So you just like have a figure and you just do this, like, oh look.
Yeah, it's basically it's. I'm like, that's really, I mean, kind of what I'm doing.
For our listeners, you can't see it, but I'm moving a stormtrooper around in different positions.
Yeah, it's like I'm given a puppet, and I move it around.
Pretty cool.
It's nice. Cool. That's basically it. So you summed up my whole thing that took 8 minutes in like 2 seconds.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah. You should get animated.
I should be an animator. That's all it takes.
Yep. That's it.
That's it.
Done.
That's all it takes.
Mm-hmm.
So we're talking about Spider-Man. That's how that led into that.
Of course. Randomness.
So who's going to see Spider-Man?
I am.
You are?
I will. I will sometime. I may not get to see it this weekend, but
it comes out the 7th, right?
It comes out my wife's birthday, and it was funny. We saw a trailer for it, and I was like, "Oh, it comes out your birthday. I guess I know what we're doing for your birthday." And she looked at me and said, "Not seeing Spider-Man."
No.
Oh, stop down.
It's like, wah, wah, wah.
She's just saying the opposite of what she really wants. You know that.
Oh, she saw you take her.
Yeah, so just take her. I know you said you didn't want it, but I know you really wanted it.
We are going tomorrow to see, or taking our son to see, and my dad, because they both want to see it, I guess. We're taking him to see Despicable Me 3, so that should be a fun one.
There you go.
Yeah.
It's for all ages.
Yeah, our dad loves Despicable Me movies.
He loves the Minions.
The Minions.
I like those movies.
Yeah, it was his birthday yesterday, so we're going for his birthday, and
happy birthday!
Yeah, to see Despicable Me 3, and then hopefully we'll see Spider-Man Homecoming at some point. It's hard when you have a 2-year-old to get out to the theaters, but
you mean he doesn't just sit calmly in the movie theater and enjoy the film?
No.
I know as a child I did, so I don't understand.
I don't know what's wrong with your kid. But...
Yeah, there's something wrong with that kid. We want to get that thing checked out.
Well, fellas, we're approaching an hour. We're approaching the hour mark. We've talked. This has a good time. Does anybody have anything else before we end this episode? Anyone?
No, just happy July 4th. Happy Independence Day.
Happy birthday, America.
Happy birthday, America.
And for the rest of the world, hey, Have a good
Hey.
4th of July.
It's another day.
You can
It's
still
another
shoot
day.
off fireworks anywhere in the world.
Mhm.
Make a
right.
celebration.
Yeah. So our listeners in Japan, go have some Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Yeah, KFC.
That's
They got
actually-
KFCs over there. They got
That's-
They
KFC.
that's
love
like the
KFC
Christmas
over
tradition
there. Yeah, it's
for
Christmas
Japan.
tradition.
They
I know
love
this.
the Colonel.
Yeah. Who
They
doesn't?
love
Who doesn't love the Colonel?
Who doesn't?
Mm.
Yeah.
Who doesn't?
I don't
Crazy.
I don't love his mashed potatoes, but
Healthy arteries don't like the Colonel.
that's true.
Eyes.
Oh man. Anyways, anybody else? Anything before we wrap this edition up? We good?
Until I'm back again, connect with me on social media.
Oh, where can they find you?
Instagram is Instagram is Michael Davis Music. Facebook is Michael Davis Music Official, and Twitter is MA Davis Music.
So somebody on one of them had Michael Davis, and you had to add the official.
Yep. Yep. There's somebody else that has Michael
Nope.
Davis Music. So
Oh.
look,
Fake guy out there. He's a
I want
fake.
to look. I want to look this guy up real fast. Hold on.
doing like
Michael
doing some like hardcore music.
Uh-oh.
Davis
You gotta go hardcore now.
Music. It's on Facebook. You said
On Facebook, yeah.
The Facebook.
the
face-
The
Facebook.
Facebook. Could you imagine if that's what it had been called?
The Facebook.
That's what it is called. I don't understand.
Didn't you see the movie about it? They took out because Justin Timberlake told him to.
Well, that's because it's just based on the Facebook. It's not based on it, so they couldn't say it's the
Oh, there
Facebook.
he is.
I found Mike Davis music.
No, Michael Davis. You're not looking hard enough. Michael Davis music. Do you believe?
Yep, but that's not me. So you got to look a little harder and go
I
to the
do believe
official. The
No, I
official
know.
Michael
I do-
Davis Music.
I do
official.
not believe. I do not believe.
I can hit the button right now. It'll play through here if you want
No, that's
No,
copyright.
we can't,
to. We did that
promote him.
before. That didn't work out.
Can't
too
promote him.
Yeah. We can play Michael. This
Got a
Michael
Kickstarter.
Davis.
Oh, yeah.
Sing now.
We
Go.
can play Michael Davis official, but
Yes.
Yes. Perform
Let's
for us.
free
Go.
teaser.
So the
Right
other
now,
guy's
perform.
the other
Right
guy's
now.
not official. Poor guy.
Yep. Not
Mhm.
official.
Doesn't say that name on his birth certificate, probably even. Lie.
Anyways, well, it's an hour and 2. It's been a fun time. It's great having special guests on. Sante, you just kept us laughing the whole time.
This is what kept Santi entertained over here.
The
whole time.
He's playing with a troll doll.
Trolls.
We have lots of little things on the table in here.
Oh
right
yeah,
now.
there's tons
It's a
of
fun movie. It's
Legos and
Chris put us in the fun room over here. Katrin
Yeah.
did.
We'll have to talk about trolls on another episode.
yeah, we're gonna talk about it.
Oh, there's Michael Davis's picture again.
Just again, so you can. The album's leading me to life.
Oh, leading me to life. Okay, cool. And there's guitars,
There's guitars.
Ukulele.
ukuleles.
Plays
It's pronounced ukulele if you want to be official.
ukulele.
If you go to Hawaii, that's how they pronounce it.
You play a little
Ukulele.
Ryan, yeah.
A little, yeah. It's not too
Oh,
hard.
man.
Not a big one. They're most of them are little, so yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I play a little. I play mandolin too.
Yeah.
I don't play anything.
Funny story about mandolin. I was playing mandolin one time at a place, played mandolin for some songs, and after we were done, this guy came up that was there in the audience, and he goes, "Is that one of them Mexican banjos?" And I said,
Yeah.
"Sure, yes, just one of those Mexican banjos."
That's exactly what it is.
That's exactly what
Yep.
it is. Anyways, what?
And Mexican banjo ukuleles.
Thumbs up.
There you go.
Well, it's been fun, but until next time, I'm Ryan Street, joined by everybody on the face of the earth today on this podcast. It's been so much fun. For Chris and Katrin and Michael and Sante, I guess he's still there. This has been
He's alive.
I
He's
Am
alive.
Geek, and we will see you next time. Make sure you follow us on Twitter, I Am Geek Show, Facebook, Instagram, everywhere. We're on YouTube now. Look up I Am Geek Show. We're everywhere.
Yeah.
Just find us. So we'll see you
Everywhere.
next time on I Am Geek.